Hello everyone, I hope that you're doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. As always, I'm so grateful that you're listening, subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And in this one I wanted to speak a little bit about personal or internal integrity. I've already done a video previously about how, if you look at the world right now, there's a little general sense that there might be a lack of integrity among a majority of the people that you might meet. It seems like that, at least to me, from what I see, or my experience has been that at least. And there's a general fear that if it becomes, if you don't actually say anything about it, if you don't point it out, it's going to become a general trend, and so being a general trend is going to become a permanent situation with everyone. So that if you have integrity, you become the sore thumb. You become the odd one out. You become the person who's like, why do you have integrity? What's the point? Why are you being like that? And so obviously an individual asked me a question about personal integrity and how do we have to look at that, and how do we deal with not being integral, not having integrity with ourselves. It's very easy to point the finger at other people, isn't it? You're looking at someone else and you should have done that way, how could you, and how foolish of you. But it's much harder, as you might imagine, to look back upon yourself and say, okay, I should have done things this way and I didn't, or that I could have done it earlier than I did it, or I told myself I would do it within 2 weeks and I ended up doing it on the last day of that deadline that I set up for myself. Or I said I would do it by 7 p.m. but I procrastinated and ended up doing it before midnight. So at least I did it on the same day, but not really at the time that I thought I would. Now, I'm not saying that we need to become like dictators towards ourselves, and if you say you're going to do it by 3 p.m., you have to get it done by 2:45 or 2:59 p.m. If you don't, then you're a terrible human being. That's not what it's all about. Like, that's not the point of it, right? And so that's not why I'm saying this. It's just that in general, let me go back to the reason why I believe integrity, especially personal integrity, is so important is not for the accolades or the awards or the accomplishments that you might receive because of it. It's not so that other people can say, oh, you're amazing, you're awesome, you get stuff done, I can rely upon you. Because those are meaningless words coming from meaningless people. If they don't have integrity themselves, anyone who has a little bit of integrity is going to look like, wow, you're a god or a goddess, right? So it really means nothing, especially when people tell me, oh no, you seem to have a lot of integrity. I'm like, people who don't have integrity obviously are going to think that's a brilliant thing. It's normal. It should be normal, at least. If you looked at the past, if you looked at Greek philosophers, or if you looked at samurais, if you looked at the past when people had honor and integrity, it was a common thing. If you said you're going to do something, you do it, and you do the best you could, and you keep your honor, you keep your word. So it's not like, oh, this is such a big deal. It shouldn't be such a big deal. It should be a norm, but it isn't, right? And it gets worse and worse as time goes on. So the point why I believe and I'm so focused on my personal integrity is not for the outside accolades, but for myself, because as I've said before, I want to be able to get up every morning and look at myself in the mirror and say, okay, good, yeah, you're the kind of person that I want to be. You're doing the best that you can, and you're not slacking off. You're not being lazy with your integrity. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. And so I can look myself in the eye with respect. I can look at myself and be like, all right, yeah, I'm proud to be the person I am. And I can go to bed at night not feeling like, I just didn't do everything that I should have done. I procrastinated. Oh, I should have done that today. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, but I've said that yesterday as well. I don't want to go to bed with this kind of negative, superfluous, lazy, weird energy within me. Because I know, and I've noticed this for myself, those days that I do the best I can, that I do all the things that I want to do, that I check off all the things that I was meant to do, that I do what I said I would do, to myself or to someone else, mostly to myself, because I don't talk to anyone really. Those days I go to sleep I can just sleep 8-9 hours straight without waking up in the middle of the night, without any anxiety, without any fears, without any doubts. I fall asleep right away as soon as I get into bed, and I get up at 6 a.m. or 5:30 a.m. just right on the dot, without any tossing and turning, without a lot of dreams, without a lot of nightmares at all, like nothing like that. I just sleep like a baby because my conscience is clear. And I feel, and I know for myself particularly, if I have days where, even if I just missed one thing, and it wasn't such a big deal, but I said I would do something and I was like, I didn't do it. Oh well, I did a lot of other things. I checked up all those other things. I did a great thing today, and I did this and that. Even then, there's this little niggle of a, yeah, no, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't that I'm trying to be, as I said, dictatorial towards myself. But then I need to have a conversation with myself to make sure, okay, I didn't do it today because of these reasons. It doesn't mean that it was a terrible fail of a day. I'm going to do it tomorrow, or I'm going to remove it from my schedule because I don't think it's important anymore, right? And so I think that's the conversation that we need to have as individuals with ourselves when we are constantly procrastinating on things. Because a lot of times what it means is not that you're not a person of integrity, it means that that item shouldn't actually be on your list. If you keep on procrastinating on it, or if you keep on postponing it, either you're just being lazy about it because it's one of those things that I really don't want to do it. So either you kind of like don't do it and give it to someone else to do on your team, or perhaps you can outsource it somehow. You can get an assistant to do it if possible. If not, also look at it and see, is this something that you really need to do? If you've been postponing it for months on end, and it hasn't affected your life adversely, maybe this is something that doesn't actually need to be on your to-do list, right? So again, this is a conversation you need to have, but most people don't. They just keep on moving things from one day to the next, one day to the next, one day to the next, 1 month to the next, 1 year to the next, and then suddenly their whole lifetimes pass by, and the same thing has been repeating over in their head. Tomorrow, I'll get this done. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get this done, right? And that tomorrow never comes. That next month never comes. That next year doesn't come. And you have all these excuses, of course. And right now, the major excuse, a very easy excuse to use, well, it's the pandemic, it's a lockdown, I don't feel like doing anything. I know I have a lot of time, but it's very stressful being alive right now, and I just don't want to do anything. Yeah, sure, it is very stressful being alive right now, and there's a lot of things going on. But wouldn't it be a good idea to put all of that energy that you have into some project of yours rather than just sitting around and watching Netflix all day? I mean, like, it's a choice again. And I've talked to you about choices already, and I've talked to you about courage and how each moment is a thing for you. It's a choice, right? And so each moment you have the capacity to choose. Am I going to step up to the plate and I'm going to do the right thing? Or am I going to sit around and laze around and not actually do what I'm supposed to be doing, or want to do, or need to do? And again, I mean, different people have different answers to these questions. Some people don't want to live an awesome life. Like, some people don't want to be more than mediocre. Some people don't want to be more than average. That's okay, obviously, right? I mean, that's a choice again. But realize that that's your choice, that you don't want to be a person of integrity. You don't want to be a person who does what they say they're going to do. Actually, you don't want to be a person who says they're going to do anything. You just want to sit around and laze around for an eternity, waiting for time to pass until you die. And so as long as you have that conversation with yourself and you realize, okay, this is where I'm at. I don't really care about living a great life. I don't want to be awesome. I want to watch other people do amazing things, but I don't want to do anything. I just want to talk about things, maybe. I don't want to even talk about things. I just want to sit and do nothing, right? But as soon as you've had that conversation with yourself, then you can actually look yourself in the eye and be like, all right, cool. I know who I am. And I can look at myself in the eye not with pride, but at least I don't have to look away and shy away from who I am, because I've clarified it for myself. Right? I know who I am exactly, right? I think that's one of the main reasons why I love the showdown I have with myself every single day. Every single night, I would say, every single morning as well. When I'm looking at the things I've done, and I look at myself and how I feel about it, and do I feel good about it? Yeah, today was a good day. You did well. Boom. Yeah, good, great, good. I'm proud of you. And then, you fall asleep happily. Or another day where you look at yourself, and I look at myself, and I look at my schedule, and I look at all the things I did, and I look at it and I'm like, You really shouldn't have that thing on your list because you don't like doing it and you don't want to do it. So why don't you try to outsource it to someone else or figure out how you don't have to do it anymore, right? Taxes is one of those things. I postponed doing taxes forever and ever and ever. Yeah. And so again, like things like that, it's good to have a conversation with yourself so you can fall asleep at night and not hate yourself. This is the reason why this is one of the ways I look at personal integrity. There's so much to it, obviously, right? If you want me to expand on it further and do another video, let me know and I will. I don't know if you find this useful or interesting at all. I think it's absolutely fascinating the way the world is moving towards non-integrity. It's funny because like one of the individuals Stephanie Summers left a comment saying, well, yeah, Donald Trump lies. Yeah, of course he lies sometimes, but I mean, everyone lies. And I looked at it and I was like, interesting. So that's the level of people that we're dealing with. They're fine with people lying. They're fine with people having no integrity. They're fine with themselves having no integrity. Again, it means that they don't have to live up to a high standard. It's the world that we're in right now, right? And maybe that's something that you're happy with because that means you don't have to step up to the plate. You can just relax and lay back and live a mediocre life. And that's okay if that's a choice that you're making, right? But don't pretend to be the kind of person who says, oh, I'm living a great life up to my potential and actually not do anything that you're supposed to be doing or want to do with your life, right? That's the difference. So if this makes sense to you, let me know. If it doesn't, comment below. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.